muted.
All right, hi everyone. I'm Storm Team 10 Chief Meteorologist Mark Searles. Thanks for joining us. A quick update here on this wild ride, right? This unusual late season nor'easter that continues here as of Thursday night, continues to move across, as you can see, eastern Massachusetts. It's coming right up over Nantucket Sound and the Cape. A lot of lightning strikes here on the western edge of it. So it's been quite the loud night on the upper Cape, the Bourne Bridge area, of course, into Plymouth County, and even to Bedford. You've had your fair share of rumbles of thunder and lightning strikes. Now, for all of us, the heaviest rain and the strongest wind will continue up until about midnight, early 1, 2 in the morning or so on Friday, as this coastal low moves up into the Gulf of Maine. This was the primary storm a few days ago, and even up until last night, we were tracking the energy from that area of low pressure, which was going to transfer itself to the coast. Now, that played out today as expected. However, that area of low pressure is still going to influence our forecast, even with the coastal low moving into the Gulf by early tomorrow, get into the afternoon. There's still some cloud cover at the very least, but even the chance for a few spotty showers from time to time Friday into very early Saturday as well, as the remnants of that primary low continue to spin across all of southern New England, really all of the Northeast, regardless of where your Memorial Day weekend plans take you, whether you're in southern New England or northern New England. A lot of clouds around on Friday and on Saturday with this system. Now, back to the forecast in a second. First, the rivers. In response to all of this rain, the rivers have been rising. The only major river in the area that is forecast to go into flood stage is the Patuxent, and that is expected to be in flood stage until Saturday morning. Now, I will say some of these hydrologic forecasts, they become a little bit variable on the intensity. They're going on a forecast of the additional rain when they issue this forecast. So if that does not play out or changes, then this flood warning, the timing, or even the flood warning itself could change and alter. So I urge you to stay tuned to the forecast, especially if you live along the banks of the Patuxent and you are prone to minor flooding. Right now, about a half foot above flood stage is the forecast for Friday into Saturday. You notice, though, the Patuxent is the only area river, again, that is expected to go into flood stage, although it will be close on the Pawcatuck and the Wood rivers in Washington County. The Blackstone River and the Taunton River here in eastern Massachusetts, that is not expected to go into flood stage as of right now. All right, here's a look at the wind gust forecast. And I'll tell you, some of the peak winds earlier today reaching over 50 miles an hour for Nantucket and the Outer Cape and 30 to 40 miles an hour for the rest of us. Those will ease in the overnight hours. As you can see here, the timestamp moving on top. We head into early Friday morning, 1 a.m., still the potential for some 30 to 40 mile an hour wind gusts locally. But by the morning commute time, 7, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, that wind gust potential is much less, and there really shouldn't be much of any significant wind during the balance of the day on Friday. So better news there. So a bit of a rocky ride overnight. But again, as that storm continues to move away and farther to the north, the wind will ease at least. Notice here, heading into Friday, again, big picture, just a ton of clouds, right? A couple of spotty showers, maybe a better chance for a shower in spots as you go into northern New England. And more of the same on Saturday as the last piece of that energy spins through. It is a cloudy, cool, honestly kind of lousy forecast on Saturday for northern New England. Here to the south, we'll see a drier trend, but it's still chilly. Highs will be only in the upper 50s, followed by some better weather for Sunday gradually, especially to the southwest. Now, if your travels take you to southern Connecticut or into the New York City area, you should see some sun on Sunday. We're still mainly cloudy, but at least a little bit drier and a little bit milder. The high temperatures will respond to that somewhat. Let's start with Friday's 12-hour forecast, and mid-50s, perhaps a spotty shower, 1 in the morning, maybe one more popping up later in the afternoon toward the evening. Nothing like what we've gone through today, but that is not a very ideal forecast for the latter part of May. Again, mid-50s for highs. The rest of your Memorial Day weekend, Saturday, about the same. Notice here, though, the darker blue indicating inland temperatures and the lighter blue, the coast. On Friday, the coast may, I should say Saturday, the coast may actually be a couple of degrees milder, around 61 versus the upper 50s for inland spots. Sunday, we're all in the lower 60s. Again, mainly cloudy. Memorial Day does look like the pick of this holiday weekend with temperatures near that seasonable 71. That is our average high temperature. So we were, in the upper 40s today. We're 23, 24 degrees below that average number. That's some crazy stuff. 74 on Tuesday. Next week does look more typical for late May and even early June, as you can see a lot of low and mid 70s down the road. All right, that's the very latest from here. Of course, be sure to join us on NBC 10 News on all your devices as well. We'll keep you updated on the changes for the Memorial Day weekend forecast, as well as keeping our eyes on those river levels. Thanks for sticking around.